I have a Reddit persona, and what I mean by that is I portray myself differently on Reddit than I do on YouTube. Because Reddit is full of unsavory people. And sometimes those unsavory people come crawling into my DMs and asking for my Snapchat or my Instagram. I don't have Instagram, so I will just tell them that outright. But I will also tell them that I don't have Snapchat, even though I do. Because a lot of times, I've encountered some Reddit creeps that won't back down when I tell them no. They will keep asking for my Snapchat. And anyone I meet online is immediately not allowed to have my Snapchat because of the content that I post on there. I post my best friend's child's face on my Snapchat because I have permission to do so. But I do not have her permission to post her anywhere else. So, someone I meet online is not allowed to have my Snapchat. My Snapchat is only given to people that I know in person and trust. It's a small group of people. I have to trust them, and my bestie has to trust them in order for them to get my Snapchat. So, if someone online asks me for it, I'll just tell them I don't have it. I don't use Snapchat. I used to use Instagram, but I don't anymore because years ago, I think it was back in 2021, my account got hacked and Instagram did nothing about it. So they have lost my trust. I'm not gonna create another account with them and start all over if I can't trust them to keep my account safe. So, yeah. Another thing I will do is I will refer to my best friend's child as mine on Reddit. Purely because it is less words to type out. If I had to keep typing out my bestie's child every time I mention her on Reddit, I would go crazy. It would take too long. So, just for convenience, I will refer to her as my child. I don't post her face, because I don't even post my own face on Reddit. And, even if she was my child that I had given birth to, I still don't think I would post her face on Reddit. Because of the amount of creeps that are lurking around on Reddit forums and the different subreddits. There's a few subreddits that have actually had to make it a rule not to post pictures of a child below the waist. In just a diaper, because of the amount of pedophiles that lurk on their subreddit. And so I don't really trust the people on Reddit to know the stuff. And this child literally is my 9 to 5. I look after her from the morning. She'll get dropped off and put back in bed because it's really early morning. And then she'll wake up, I'll feed her breakfast, go about the day, feed her lunch. And then around dinner time, like right before dinner, she'll get picked up. And then she'll go home and have dinner and, bedtime and all that stuff. And then she'll be back the next morning. So my experience taking care of her is very similar to that of a parent. So sometimes my experiences can help shed some light on other people's, struggles. A few months ago, I came across a post from a first-time parent asking when to stop using a baby monitor. And so I felt like I had, the experience in that area to be able to provide some insight. So I did. But instead of referring to her as my best friend's child, who I babysit full time, I refer to her as my child. She kind of feels like my child. Because I've been doing this since she was 4 months old. And she just turned 2 yesterday. So it's not like this is something that I just started doing recently. It's something I've been doing for 2 years. It's actually why I haven't been posting much lately. My upload schedule has decreased and become a lot less frequent. And it's because I'm with her most days, and I do not have her parents' permission to post her face on YouTube. So I'm not going to film while I have her in my care. One, because it would take my attention off of her, and 2, because I don't have the right, because I am not her parent, to decide whether or not to post her face on the internet for everyone to see. And quite a few times, actually, I have had Reddit creeps decide to back off after finding out that I'm a single parent. Like, they don't want to be part of that mess. I'm like, if it gets you to leave me alone, I'm not going to correct you. And to be fair, if you do decide to date me, we would either only be hanging out on weekends, or you would be around this child a lot. So, you know, it's a similar concept. You better be ready to be a stepdad if you want to try dating me. You know, you just got to be in that mindset. You don't have to. Dating me won't actually make you a stepdad, but it'll make you close enough. And a lot of people on Reddit aren't into that. They just want, you know, the one thing. Yeah, they just want my nudes, but if those nudes are covered in stretch marks and maybe a little messed up down there from pushing a watermelon-sized human out of a small hole, they seem to be less interested. A lot of men are like that. They're like, if it's the result of, you know, carrying and birthing my child, it's beautiful. If it's the result of carrying and birthing someone else's child, it's gross. You know, it's kind of all about perspective. And their perspective on it is a little problematic. But I don't really have a problem with their perspective on stretch marks and postpartum bodies. They're men. They will never have to deal with that. Just maybe keep it to yourself. If you're not into that, that's all you. I don't care. If you are into that, I still don't care. I'm not gonna date you. We met on the internet. For all I know, you could be an old man pretending to be a 20-something-year-old. Or you could be a serial killer. It's not a risk I am that eager to take. I'm not really a very social person to begin with. So people hitting me up on social media, wanting to get to know me, kind of gives me the ick. I didn't start a social media account to make friends. I did it because I was bored. And yeah, so I don't really have anything else to rant about. I guess I'll see you guys next time I feel like ranting.